Hello folks and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for the 2019 British Grand Prix here at Silverstone. New deal has been done, 5 more years for the British Grand Prix here at the home of British motorsport, Silverstone circuit. Great news. Obviously it's been a long time in negotiation, 2 years negotiating that new deal, but it means that the British Grand Prix will stay at Silverstone, but for all of those wondering, there is still the possibility of a London race apparently as well, so we could end up with 2 races in the United Kingdom. Who knows what the future holds? Other than that, we will still be coming to Silverstone for another 5 years. Everybody delighted, including the drivers who adore this racing circuit, but none more so than these 3, and that's where we're going to start today. The 3 British drivers racing on home soil and all expecting very different things out of the weekend. We're going to start with Lewis Hamilton, championship leader, had an off weekend in Austria. Why? Was it track specific? Have they uncovered something about the car which could affect them at other races in the year? Then we're going to talk to Lando Norris, who has just renewed his contract with McLaren for another season. We're not even at the halfway point of his first rookie Formula 1 season. I think that shows how strongly he's been driving, what an impression he's made at the team. And it's a big fat hands-off sign to the rest of the paddock over this young man. And also to Georgie Russell. It's going to be a tough weekend for him and for the team, but they are celebrating this weekend Frank Williams' 50th anniversary in Formula 1. So let's start it off. The championship leader. You could have a 6th British Grand Prix victory this weekend. Are the numbers something that you think about, or is every race just unique, individual, one you want to win?
Yeah, I think it's just unique on its own, and I never ever think about the numbers, but of course it would be rude to ignore them. I think it's a real privilege to be in the position that I am. But I'm just super happy that the Grand Prix is going to be continuing for years to come, and hopefully I can be a part of it for at least some of them. And otherwise, it is the best Grand Prix of the year. Just the track is awesome to drive, but then in terms of the crowd, there's no crowd like a British crowd. Can't really explain it or put into words. They're just the best crowd. The home crowd is always the best crowd, and maybe I'm biased, but what I see here is different to all the other Grand Prix, and so it means a lot to me this weekend. I really hope that I can deliver to them.
Let's look back a couple of weeks to Austria. That little bump in the road, is that something you think is going to be specific to Austria, or has it uncovered a weakness that you didn't know that you had in the car?
No, it's a weakness we knew we had in the car. So, and it is a blip in the sense that it is unique to that track and to those temperatures. Don't think we're going to have that this weekend, and it shouldn't be as bad for us here, regardless, even if the temperature does come up. We understood it better. What I do think is that the Red Bulls and the Ferraris have really, truly understood their car a bit better and got great performance out of it last weekend. So I anticipate, Ferraris were quickest here last year. I think they're going to be quick and hard to beat again this year. So it's really important that we start on the right foot and we extract more out of the car. And we're going to need to extrapolate all the energy we can, or extract all the energy we can from the fans this weekend to try and hoist us up a little bit ahead of the others.
Congratulations on the new deal. Does that make things easier? Does it take a little bit of the pressure off? We know you put a lot of pressure on yourself, but is that knowing that the future is secure, knowing that you've done a phenomenal job up to this point and enough that the team needed to give the rest of the paddock a big, large sign that says hands off Lando?
Honestly, it wasn't something I was worried about coming into, just at this point of the year. Maybe later I would have thought about it more and then started to worry, but it wasn't something I was thinking about. So for them to come more to me rather than vice versa, let's say, was a good thing from my side, because it wasn't something I was worried about, and for them, because they came to me, it was more just a bonus and more of a confidence booster. So overall, apart from that, it doesn't change too much. It's just nice knowing I'm going to be here next year, be talking to you even more, and just having a good time.
Bless you. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that sort of means that I'll still have to be here next year as well. I don't know. No one's come to me. I haven't had that same thing that you've had yet. So anyway,
I'll put in a good word.
Thanks, I'd appreciate that if you would. This weekend, we come off the back of a great race weekend for you guys in Austria. Can you repeat that this weekend?
Well, I would like to. I think, well, we would love to. Hopefully, with Carlos in one better position than what he did, but he had a pretty awesome drive from last on the grid. So we'll find out. I think we've got to the point where we just don't know what to expect into any race weekend anymore. Places where we thought we might not be so good, we turned out to be a bit better than expected. Places we thought would be then really strong, we're not as good. So it's just very mixed. And obviously Haas were very quick in quali, but then they're terrible in the race. So everyone seems so up and down. We don't know what is going to happen until we do P1, we do P2, and then we kind of consolidate from then on. So I would love to, that's our aim, but we'll have to wait and see.
Welcome, home Grand Prix. How much are you looking forward to it?
I'm really looking forward to it, mainly just to drive around Silverstone, and also, you know, it's such a special atmosphere, not only for the Brits, but just Silverstone in general. I went to like the campsites last year and some of the sort of a festival atmosphere outside of the circuit, and it was sort of great to see everybody having a good time, and it's just different vibe to Silverstone compared to other races.
And it's a really important weekend for Williams as well, 50 years of Frank Williams in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we'd like to put on a great show for Frank, but unfortunately I think that'd be very, very tricky, but amazing to have his support with us this weekend.
But I guess, you know, if Frank represents anything, it is perseverance, you know, and strength through the hard times. How much does his sort of aura over the team still help to motivate you all, to push you forward?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Frank is at the factory every day. He's often going around the factory, going in and out of different departments and whatever. So I think just his presence really does push and motivate everyone, and that's really what we need in a tough time like this. But like I said, we are definitely making progress. We're not going to see any major change this weekend. It's still going to be tough, but I do think sooner rather than later we'll be able to make some larger strides.
Even with that, bet you're looking forward to Sunday, drivers' parade, going around here, sellout crowds.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon it's going to be sort of a goosebumps kind of feeling, and it's going to be incredible.
And so to Red Bull Racing, who of course had that fantastic race last time out in Austria. Home soil, of course, for the team. And kind of a home race for Max Verstappen in that the grandstands are so full of orange Dutch fans. Was a phenomenal drive and a brilliant run from him. We're going to talk to him. We're also going to talk to Pierre Gasly, his teammate today as well, because while it was a great race for Max Verstappen, Pierre Gasly finished one lap behind. He's still not untapping that potential that exists in the car. Why not? Is it to his liking still? Is there some space to find? Christian Horner has said in the week that he needs to hit Control-Alt-Delete. For those of you that use a Mac, that's the reset button on a Windows laptop computer type thing. PC, that's it. That's what I mean. Basically, that the faster he tries to go, the slower he drives. So the more he tries, the worse he gets. How do you rewire that to get Pierre Gasly back into a place that the team know he can get to? It seems that Christian Horner has full confidence that he can get there. There were, however, mentions in the press, supposedly from Dr. Helmut Marko, that he had to find his form fast by the summer break. We've been asking it for a couple of races. Is his seat in danger or not? According to Christian, not. And certainly if you listen to what Pierre says, the words coming from him are certainly ones of, I think, positivity of what he knows he can achieve, what he holds inside him. And let's hope it's only a matter of time until we see it on track. Hello, Mr. Race Winner.
It's easier to get out that way.
How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. How's it going for you? Looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I mean, another race to try and do well.
Do you think this one will suit you guys as well as Austria did?
I don't know. I think in the last few years it's not been the best for us, but yeah, we'll try again.
It was a perfect storm in Austria a couple of weeks ago, but the signs had been looking good all the way through the season. What does it say about the team? What does it say about Honda as well, that you were able to take a victory before even half season?
Yeah, I think we have been improving. Maybe in France it was not amazing, but then we brought some new parts in Austria, and they seem to work quite well. So of course we know that Mercedes had their cooling issues, but yeah, for us the weekend was just very positive.
What does this do now for the team and for Honda for the rest of the season? Does it make you want to push harder, take more risks, or does it actually focus that you're in a place where you can win races, so you need to kind of almost shrink it in and focus on doing that?
Well, I think we were always pushing very hard. I don't think we needed that win for it, but it's just a confidence boost, I think. So that's always positive to have.
I'm happy. Happy to get in Silverstone, and just excited to get back in the car. I had good 2 weeks relaxing, training. I had a good couple of meetings at the factory with the guys to speak together about how to improve the whole thing on my side, on their side, and how to work better together. So no, I'm pretty happy with what we did and confident coming into this weekend.
What did they say? What did the team say about the direction that you need to take? Because it's not going to take much to unlock it all, is it?
Well, I think there are many little things we can improve, and that's what we, when you add up all the things, it puts us in the position we are in. But I think there are a few things, once we'll manage to get on top of it, we'll just unlock quite a lot of performance. So that's why we went at the factory, did a good couple of meetings with the guys, we have a good plan, just excited to get on track.
And you've now got a race-winning car underneath you. What's it done for the team? What's it done for the confidence for everybody back at the factory to get back on that top step of the podium?
I think it was amazing. I watched the race after, and a fantastic race from Max, and I think for all the guys, engineers, Honda, everybody in the factory. When you win a race, it's always super satisfying. So I know it gave a good boost, let's see if we're able to reproduce this year similar performances. But no, it's clearly a good boost for the whole team.
And obviously, it's a car that suits Max. He's won a race in it. Is it yet where it needs to be for you?
Well, no, it's not. But we'll get there for sure. It takes time, and as I said, we have many little things we need to work on. But I'm just happy with the changes we are planning, and everything should go in the right direction. So for sure, everything is not going to change from one day to another, but I think we have a good plan ahead for the coming weeks.
Scooters everywhere in the F1 paddock at the moment. I don't know why. I used to have a scooter when I was at university. It's like one of those little fold-up micro scooter things. Went over the handlebars, really hurt. Alfa Romeo. Kimi Räikkönen, great form when we spoke to him earlier today, talking about how brilliantly the team's done to get over that little slump they had and to have a good couple of races. Antonio Giovinazzi finally has points on the board, and Kimi was saying what a great teammate he is, how he's really kind of easing into his role in Formula One, and Kimi very happy with the way things are going here. We're going to talk though to Antonio Giovinazzi. First points on the board in Austria, and not before time. The monkey off his back.
Yeah, watching my hair.
Can you turn around? Turn around. So it's a little shorter on that side, and on the other side it's still long.
Still long.
So you didn't get the whole thing cut?
Not yet. Yeah, I like my long hair. I don't know why.
But it's not long on that side anymore.
I know, but they will come up.
So explain to the people at home, because they might not know what happened after your points scoring and brilliant point scoring, may I say, in Austria.
Yes, it was not the right bet, I would say, because in Paul Ricard I bet with friends. I say if I will score point, you can cut my hair, and I didn't score point. And in Austria we say, okay, if I don't score point, you can cut my hair. But I score point, and in the end he cut the hair. But
so the moral of the story is don't make a bet with Fred.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Yes, I agree.
How good did it feel to get those points, to get the monkey off your back, as we say in English?
Yeah, finally, it was I think a roller coaster season so far, and in Red Bull Ring we just put all together. It was a clear weekend. We went to Q3 with both of cars, and then in the race was really tough race because it was not an easy race with Perez just behind me all race. But yeah, we did, and finally first point. Now we need to just keep working and take points, hopefully without losing hair, and just take the best result for the team.
Would you lose an inch of hair every weekend if it meant you got to score points every weekend?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
From Alfa, who've had a difficult couple of races and turned it round, to Toro Rosso, who are also in that kind of place, that midfield battle, and who have sort of gone off the boil a little bit over the last couple of races, hoping to bring it back. And a driver, top of the show, we spoke to the three local boys. This is probably the closest thing to a home race for Alex Albon. home race of sorts.
Yes, double mic. Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a cool track. I think it's as everyone says, it's the best track I think on the calendar, or at least the one I've driven so far. Cool atmosphere, a lot of fans who really know what they're speaking about, and yeah, I'm excited to be here. I live 20-25 minutes from here, so it's cool to go home as well. And yeah, cool.
And a very recent winning record here as well. Does that help?
Yeah, I tend to go well around here, and that always gives you a bit of confidence going into a weekend. But yeah, we'll see. F1's a different ball game. I think a lot of the corners that were a corner in F2 aren't a corner in F1, just easy flat. So we'll see. I'm sure it's still exciting, and it's been resurfaced because I remember in F2 it was incredibly bumpy, but I think that will go now.
For the weekend, any upgrades on the car? Anything that could give you positivity, some hope of an improved performance, certainly over the last race?
Yeah, minor ones. I would say we're getting bigger updates later on in the week or in the year, soon as well, but not quite for Silverstone. I think we know what we need, and it's also just a balance, really rebalance of the car that we're chasing as well. I think the car's not bad, but we just need to unlock the potential a bit more, and that's kind of what you saw in Paul Ricard and Red Bull. I think we're struggling with the same balance issue that we're for both races. So we know what we need. We know where we need to work on. Coming here to Silverstone, we've got some ideas, and I'm sure we'll readdress them issues for the weekend.
Down to McLaren, and yes, we've already heard from Lando Norris at the top of the show, but he's signed his new contract with the team. There's lots of positivity there. There's just a really good vibe around here at the moment, and I really enjoyed the interview with Carlos, so I thought let's put that in as well, because I think it just reflects, actually, and it's one of the questions I put to him, the genuine surprise that exists in this place of a team that had struggled so much over recent years and achieved so little, that they now find themselves in such a strong place in that tight midfield battle. And I think it's really taken everybody by surprise. We're halfway through the season. Has it surprised you? Because if you look at the recent history of McLaren, with the likes of Fernando Alonso on board, Stoffel Van Dorn, who was very highly regarded, and nothing happens, and two new drivers, two young drivers, new management structure in place, and within 10 races to be where you are and what you've achieved and the positivity that is flowing around this place now. Has it shocked you?
You can feel it, and you can also feel it in the factory. Has it shocked me? I think it would be naive to say no, but a bit yes. So I did expect good things from this team when I joined, because I saw everyone was particularly positive about 2019. Everyone was particularly motivated for this year after such a tough season. I think everyone was a bit hurt down inside, and they said we want revenge, but we want not to look as bad as we looked last year. And this revenge, this winner attitude that this team has, I think has turned everything around. But probably even a bit more than what we all anticipated, and it probably means everyone, drivers, management, everyone in the factory, everyone in the race team, it's doing their work very well.
It's a home race for a lot of the drivers, a lot of the teams, not least, bizarrely enough, Formula One's American team, who are based in Banbury, which is 25 minutes down the road. Let's talk to Romain Grosjean. It's been a really tumultuous few races for them. As we saw in Austria, Kevin Magnussen, P5 on the grid, an astonishing qualifying performance. We know the car has one lap pace in it, but it falls apart in the race. What are they doing to try and get on top of that? How are they trying to fix it? As we're about to hear, the lengths they've got to go to are, I think, more extreme than anybody could have imagined. One of your three home races this weekend, France, America, and of course Silverstone factory's just around the corner. Is this one that all the boys and girls on the team look forward to?
Yeah, very much. I mean, Silverstone in general is a great event, and I'm very pleased to see that we're going to come here for another 5 years. The British fans are standing in there. You can really feel the love for motorsport in the country, which is great. Obviously, there's a lot of teams that are based nearby, and we are based nearby, so it's great to see that many people from the factory are going to come and watch the race or the cars going around.
And you never know what the weather's going to do. It's blue sky over there, and it's, dark clouds over that side.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah. Talking of sort of rain, you said at the last race that it felt like it was raining and you had no grip. Have you guys managed to diagnose what the problem is? What are you changing, if anything, for this weekend?
I think we can see the problem. Have we got solution to tackle it? Not sure yet. So on my car, we've decided to revert back to the launch package, the race one aerodynamic package, to see if all the updates we've brought actually brought us in a good direction or not, and if we can understand a little bit. It may not be performing very well, it may be good, but at least we can understand some things, because at the minute we're a bit lost in what we can do better to get the car to work better.
So literally hit the reset, go back to all of the data, everything that you analysed over testing, so you know you've got that base package. If the issue's still there with the base package, then something crazy must have gone wrong somewhere.
Yeah. If that's not working, then it's going to be difficult. I mean, on the other hand, if you think you're on race 9 or 10 and you go back to race 1 package, obviously you don't have the development that other teams have had. But we know winter testing, and in Melbourne we're very happy with the car. And then I think we understood what went wrong in the next few races, like Bahrain and China, where we could have done better on the tyres to get them to work. So I'm hoping that some of the issues we've had having are gone, and we can set up the car in a better way and make sure that the race pace comes back to us.
Racing Point going through a tough time at the moment. This was always going to be something of a limbo year for them, as they had to determine their car really as they were going through administration proceedings last year. This was always going to be not just on the back foot, but potentially a year that was thrown in the bin in preparation for a proper year in 2020. How's Sergio Perez, though, feeling within this team of which he's been a part for so long? And as always, the question around this time of year with Checo, what does the future hold? You're wanting a fantastic race, but do you think you're going to get one? Is it frustrating at the moment, knowing that you've still got a few more races to wait until you get that upgrade package?
Yeah, it is. It is frustrating, coming here and having uncertainty on if we're going to be able to make it onto the points or not. That's the target, and we just have to stick together and try to do the best we possibly can. That's the main target for this weekend. Make sure that we maximize every single platform out there, every single opportunity, and hopefully we can go back to the points.
It's been quite clear for a while that this year was always going to be like an interim year for the team until it really got itself together for next season. With that in mind, are you looking at this year as just kind of making do? Are you looking towards, what I'm talking about is, are you looking towards next year with the team already, or are you starting to look elsewhere? How's it affecting your mindset?
No, right now obviously it's coming the time where you're looking also for the future. We're going nearly halfway. Summer break is coming soon, so I hope that by summer break I have my future confirmed on what I'm going to do, and also with the team. I'm not thinking that much further up. I'm thinking about this year. It's still a long races, and still a lot of pain to go through if we don't improve, so I'm not willing to stay there. I think we just have to push really hard and make sure that we over deliver every weekend to make sure that we end up the season on a high.
Is the team focusing on this year, or is it already looking towards next year, knowing that this year was always going to be a bit of a write-off after the administration proceedings last season?
We kind of, the team is kind of thinking also further up for next year. But we are conscious, that we cannot let this season just go away, because it can be very painful in the coming races. So you have no idea how much it hurts, to go to a race by race and not scoring points. It hurts a lot to everyone. So we are just winners, and we want to do well.
And so to the boys and girls in red. So nearly a race victory last time out in Austria. Of course, high-speed circuit, engine track, not many braking points around this Silverstone circuit. As Alex Albon was saying, in Formula 2 there were quite a few braking points, quite a few corners. Fewer parts of the track here that they actually consider corners, because they're flat out, like Maggots and Beckett's first couple of bits of that, flat out. Amazing to think they don't consider that a corner. How nuts. Anyway, are they going to be as strong here as a lot of people think they could be? Could this be? Lewis Hamilton, we heard at the top of the show, expecting Ferrari to be competitive here. What about Sebastian Vettel? Is he expecting Ferrari to lead the charge and to be the team to beat here at the British Grand Prix?
You mentioned the fans. There are almost as many Ferrari fans as there are Hamilton fans out there. They cheered you to the win last year. Based on the speed we saw from the car in Austria, do you think you're close to a repeat win maybe this year?
I don't know. Like I said before, I think we, so far this year has been quite up and down for us. So let's see where we are tomorrow, how the car feels. But I'm quite optimistic. I think last couple of weeks have been better for us, and hopefully we can continue in that trend.
Closing out today's show down at Renault. We're going to talk to Daniel Ricciardo and Nico Hülkenberg. Last time in Austria we said we couldn't really use Daniel's because he didn't really say anything about the race weekend, so we used Nico's. This weekend, Daniel didn't really say anything about the race weekend, but we're going to put him in anyway because it's just Daniel being Daniel. Can we start by talking about fashion? Well, no. Here's the thing: like, are those Nomex socks and plimsolls?
No. Well, to be honest, no, I won't say it. Anyways, yeah, she knows what I'm about to say, and I'm not going to say it. But I think the socks are glow in the dark.
They're yours.
No, it's yeah.
Okay.
We're running a bit low on stock.
Oh, really? Okay. Nice new ink though.
No,
what does it mean?
It's peeling. It's peeling.
Well, it will do.
It is new. Yeah, I know. This is actually a little bit of a personal one, but hey. Did they just ask what? Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway, but yeah, it's got to do with family. But it's a nice one. It's a nice meaning to it. But I actually only told Mum this morning. I think I'm.
She knows you've got other tattoos, though, right?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
I like tattoos. It's bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's all right. But she's like, I thought you said you were never going below your forearm, and I was like.
Wait, but has she not seen literally the rose, the treble clef, the number 3,
Yeah, and then anyway. But yeah, it was. I got it in London. And it was cool. I don't know. I think you're not well when you miss. I hate needles, but when you miss the feeling.
It's addictive, though.
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of messed up, right?
It's like the whole pain-pleasure thing.
Yeah, it is. It's rewarding.
Talk about pain pleasure.
Cute,
How is it
he?
driving with Renault in the moment?
Chubby.
You know, he is cute.
Yeah.
Is it he?
With his
Is
little
it he?
bottom. Yeah, it's a he. But actually, we forgot to attach the string on the bow, so I got to go.
Because I wondered, what is it? Is that a bow? Or is, oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't need the arrows. He's already shot the arrow, but yeah, I've got to add the string. But that's all right. Just makes it more unique. Isn't he cute? I want to rub his tummy. His little belly. There you go.
Thanks, Daniel. Have a good weekend.
You too.
British Grand Prix, is this one going to suit you guys a little better than Austria?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, can't be much worse, to be honest, because Austria was pretty poor. So no, I think and I hope things will be back to normal, kind of. Of course, it's competitive in the midfield, and especially McLaren has been really strong recently. So a lot of headwind from their side, and we need to put the things together and do a really good job, I think, to be able to compete with them. But coming here, it's fun. I love this track, high speed, very flowing, home of British motorsport. So what else can you ask for?
Why did things have such a negative turnaround in Austria?
Yeah, to be honest, we don't fully understand. Austria has always been a little bit of a funny place since I'm with this team. We've always had our struggles there. I think it's a couple of reasons together, just the place, the tarmac there. It's a little bit on altitude already. Couple of I don't know, track effects that just don't seem to suit our car, or actually brings out the worst from our car, and it just didn't work. It was not in a happy place, so it was a tricky weekend.
Talking about being in a happy place, are you in a happy place at the team? We're getting towards that mid-season, pretty much halfway through the year, silly season around the corner. Are you wanting to stay? Are you looking elsewhere?
I think things are good for now. I'm happy where I am. I think it's most likely that I'll remain with the team, but nothing is set in stone for now, and there's nothing to report for the future. But like you say, the next few weeks are going to be interesting.
So that is your lot from Paddock Pass here at Silverstone. You may ask, why am I wearing a rain jacket? Well, clouds in the sky, as one would expect, but as always at Silverstone, where one side there are clouds, on the other blue sky. You just don't know. It's either going to be a glorious weekend or it's going to be an absolute shocker. I don't know, and that's what makes it so fun. Join us over the weekend for the British Grand Prix It's always a great weekend, no matter what happens. Can Lewis make it 6 British Grand Prix victories and fight back from the disappointment of Austria? Can Red Bull do it again? Will Ferrari be the team to beat and finally break that 2019 curse? Who knows? For now, though, from us, that's your lot.